Byron Donalds breaks the Breakfast Club, puts Charlemagne in his place. And no, I will not call him Charlemagne the God. That is a very blasphemous name and I can't stand it. So as far as I'm concerned, he's Charlemagne. And frankly, he's lucky we don't call him much worse. Just saying. So guys, this video is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get right into it and I know you're going to like it. But first, everybody, help me out here real quick. Like our video, share it around, and if you are new, hit that big subscribe button for the Resist the Mainstream YouTube channel so we can keep bringing you guys this great content. For those of you who are coming back, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And as always, everybody, I'm your host, Darian. Let's get into the clip.
I would argue we're not really thriving right now. This inflation, which by the way was brought to us by Kamala Harris, has really slowed down people from being able to excel.
By Kamala?
Yes.
Vice president.
Oh, Charlemagne.
It's still the president.
Charlemagne, listen, man. When Joe Biden wanted to do his American Rescue Plan, Kamala Harris was the tie-breaking vote in the United States Senate. She broke the tie that started this inflation that has hurt so many people in our country. Everybody listening to your show. It's not true?
First of all, it's
you sure you want to go there?
Tie-breaking vote.
You sure you want to go there?
Go outside, Congressman, when you go outside.
You sure you want to go there? Okay, let's go there.
You got notes. You got notes, Angela, right?
That's fine. I have notes.
I'm gonna give it to Charlemagne.
I have today
I'm gonna give it to Charlemagne.
is that on every question I've asked,
because Angela, hold on
for every infrastructure project in your community,
you can go to
should
third
go
page,
out
just
and
the highlighted
thank
portion.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and the Congress that voted for the American Rescue Plan.
Angela,
that's what should be happening.
Larry Summers wrote an op-ed back in 2021. Larry Summers was the Treasury Secretary for Bill Clinton. He was an economic advisor to Barack Obama. Mm-hmm. He said that the American Rescue Plan that Joe Biden wanted, that Kamala Harris was the tie-breaking vote in the United States Senate, would create a massive inflation that we have not seen in a generation. Well, guess what? Larry Summers was correct.
And it's not a shocker. He or anybody else who predicted that was correct. This American Rescue Plan cost about $2 trillion, 1.9 trillion in expenditures at a minimum. As for the goals that $2 trillion was supposed to accomplish, it was supposed to cut child poverty in half. Yeah, so much for that. As far as I've seen, people have only gotten poor, whether they're children or not. And it was supposed to increase vaccination efforts. Well, okay, that's lovely, but I'm not going to elaborate on that one.
You know who also was correct, Angela? I was, because I was in the budget committee when they brought the bill. And I said in that committee, it's going to cause massive inflation. That's what happened. So the problem we have in our economy today is that prices have gone up massively. Wages adjusted for inflation is down. People's pocketbooks are hurting.
Byron Donalds talking about inflation is a great segue for me to talk about why we should invest in gold. Woohoo! We love gold, guys. So check it out, guys. Go to rtmgold.com. You will not regret it. Okay, gold, in my opinion, is a great hedge against inflation. And you see that historically. As the value of the dollar has gone down, the value of gold has only gone up. And that is why I have decided to partner with Goldco. So check it out, everyone. rtmgold.com. You can click the link in the description or type in your web browser. You can even get a free gold kit. Yes, that's right. Free to help you make this decision because we know it is a big one. So check it out, guys, rtmgold.com. You can roll over your IRA and 401k penalty and tax free. rtmgold.com. And now for more Byron Donalds.
Oh, what's up, Angela?
Sorry, just on this same point, you talked about taking the man in his totality.
Yeah.
So one of those things in his totality is what happened on January 6th, which was your first term in Congress.
Yeah.
Do you think he should be held accountable? Donald Trump should be held accountable for his role in the January 6th insurrection?
Well, I mean, listen, first of all, I would tell you that everybody's responsible for their own actions. Just like I'm not going to blame friends or blame anybody else for the things I've done wrong in my life. I'm not going to put that on him. I'm not going to run around and blame Bernie Sanders for the fact that Steve Scalise was shot. Because if you go back and look at when Steve Scalise, who's the current leader in the House of Representatives, who almost died at a congressional baseball practice. Hold on, I'm going to explain this. So I'm going to come back to January 6th.
Yeah, please do.
No, I will, of course. The shooter that almost killed Steve Scalise, the Republican leader, he said vehemently that the reason why he went to the congressional baseball practice of Republicans to shoot it up was because he felt that Republicans were going to take away health care. And what he had heard in his rhetoric was that was dangerous and these Republicans had to be stopped. So I'm going to translate that to January 6th. The shooter is the one that perpetrated that crime. I'm not going to put that on Bernie Sanders, who he cited for the rhetoric around why he went to the congressional baseball practice. And that's a shooter that almost killed Steve Scalise.
Not to mention that Sanders' rhetoric was far more toxic than Trump's was by any objective measure. Bernie Sanders said that Republicans have blood money on their hands because they don't agree with him on health care. In other words, they are killing people. Those are Bernie's words, right? Not mine. Meanwhile, what did Trump say during the January 6th insurrection, as they call it? Ridiculous term, by the way, but that's a whole nother discussion. Let's see what Trump said on that day before the Capitol was breached. All right, guys, gonna try to do my best Trump voice here, okay? Bear with me. I am asking for everyone at the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful. No violence. Remember, we are the party of law and order. Respect the law and our great men and women in blue. Thank you. Does that sound like a very violent guy who's calling for the overthrowing of the United States government to you? Seriously, these people are such liars. The whole January 6th thing, it just drives me nuts. Let's also remember what Nancy Pelosi said. Remember what she said in those unearthed leak videos of her conduct surrounding the Capitol on that fateful day? Let's check it out. We have totally failed, Pelosi said on January 6, 2021. We have to take some responsibility for not holding the security accountable for what could have happened. Another one. Oh my God, I cannot believe the stupidity of this. And I take the full responsibility. Well, did she? So much for that. I mean, it seems like she just went and blamed Trump like everyone else. But anyways, back to the clip.
Let me translate. Donald Trump authorized 10,000 National Guard troops. I'm on the oversight committee. He actually authorized 10,000 troops on January 4th, 2 days before January 6th, obviously. So if you're going to say that you incited an insurrection, then how are you also going to authorize 10,000 National Guard troops to be at the Capitol? Are you inciting or are you not? Because the record is he authorized the troops. Nancy Pelosi and Muriel Bowser, the mayor of D.C., did not want the troops at the Capitol. Muriel Bowser signed a letter on January 5th wanting the National Guard troops to be on traffic duty in D.C. Now, here's the funny thing about January 5th, 2021, is that nobody was in D.C. because D.C.'s rules around COVID-19 had the entire city shut down. The streets were empty during this time. So the National Guard that was authorized by Donald Trump were on traffic duty when there was no traffic, when they could have been at the...
Hey. Guys, forgive my dog's whining and barking. Not intentional. Let's get to the rest of Byron Donalds here.
But I will. A couple things is, all right, how many people in the United States today are actually descendants of slave owners? Forget descendants of slaves. Let's hold that to the side. Descendants of slave owners. You've had massive immigration into the United States over the last 150 years. So now you're going to say that people who immigrated to the United States who are not descendants of slave owners, were not descendants of that trade, now they're going to be responsible for paying that out going forward. My mother's Jamaican. My father's Panamanian. You have a lot of black people in this country who are not descendants of the American slave trade. So I already know off top, there's a lot of black people in America who aren't going to be able to get that kind of benefit or get reparations.
Well, most people who are for reparations, they feel like it should go to what they call foundational black Americans anyway.
And I agree with that point. But I'm just saying, I'm just laying out, these are the reasons for why I'm no. So while I'm saying now,
you do support reparations for what Leonard just deemed as, quote, foundational black Americans?
No, I don't.
No.
But I want to explain that. I want to explain that. And so that's why you have a lot of people saying, okay, well, then what are we going to?
What about the black Americans who owned slaves? Yes, you heard me right. In fact, the first legally recognized slave owner in American history, you know who that was? The answer is Anthony Johnson, a black man. Yes, you heard that right. A black man was the first legally recognized owner of a slave in United States history. Was that taught to you in public school? I doubt it. I know it wasn't for me.
To do. And so my view is that what you do going forward is why you have to have wholesale changes in economic, medical policy, et cetera, so that the ability to access various parts of our economy and grow in our economy work for everybody, including people in our country who are, quote unquote, foundationally black. Now, let me translate to what's happened in California. This is your state. In California, there was a push to have the
I'm actually from Washington State.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I heard earlier you was in California, so that's why I'm saying it.
No problem.
So there was a bill in California for reparations. The California Assembly, which is massively Democrat, they didn't move that bill. They could have moved that bill. When they were asked why they weren't moving that bill, they tucked tail and turned and ran away. They didn't even have the guts to actually answer that question. So I'm here with y'all. I'll tell you why I'm a no. But you have Democrats who will say they're for something, but when it comes time to actually do it, they're not there for you. They say they run away. They don't answer the question, and to be blunt, like the current vice president, not answering a lot of questions.
But she did say that she's for reparations.
After she said she wasn't. So which one is it?
No, she knows that she wasn't.
That's never happened.
Just a brilliant retort by Charlemagne over there. But she did say she supports reparations. Yeah, What a win, Charlemagne. Thanks for pointing that out. We really appreciate it. With all that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. As always, please be sure to comment below. Let us know what you liked about the clip. If you want to see more of this stuff, you guys want to see more Charlemagne, let us know, and we'll see you guys again soon. Thanks so much for tuning in, and God bless.